And what's up, Darkness Live Tribe? We are live, and I don't know, something.
December 28th.
It is still December, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh, the days are kind of running to get together for me.
I almost fell over. I just saw a funny post on Facebook, and it said something to the effect of, next year is a little ironic that it said 2020 WON 1 2021. Get it? Yeah. Ha ha ha.
Wow.
I'm like, oh damn. That's
I'm sorry for all the noise, guys. My mic is bugging me. It's not.
well, here we are again.
Paranormal stories.
What's up, Ben? Oh, I know who that is. I think I know who that is.
Okay.
Paranormal stories. Good Captain is watching.
Yeah, Captain Carl, Captain Chaos. How's Chaos Control doing tonight, Captain Carl?
I bet she's doing good. I hope everyone had a wonderful weekend, long weekend for some, for others who had to work. Thank you for working. Somebody's got to do it, right?
Yeah.
I actually, next year, Christmas Day, I get to work, so
Yeah.
yep, I'll put in my time.
Well,
and last year I worked.
I'm working New Year's Day this year, so.
And next year you're working Thanksgiving and Memorial Day, I think.
Hell, I don't know.
I don't know. That's a whole year away. Let's not even talk about it.
I have no idea. That whole thing has completely missed me somehow or
We'll just
another.
relish.
I didn't even know the sign-up sheet was going around.
We'll just relish
whatever.
in the past.
So,
the past, not the past. Well, we
am I
could
blowing
relish
out
in the
people's
past.
eardrums? Is the
I don't know.
sound levels look a little bit high here going out?
I don't know.
Okay, maybe that's better. Is that a little
Ooh.
better?
I want to talk about
right.
something. So today something interesting happened. Okay. So it's not uncommon for me to take care of a dead body. Okay. But the caregiver took pictures of the moment that the
Just in case you didn't, in case you didn't know, she works in hospice.
Yes, I do. And I love it. But the caregiver took pictures of the individual right when she or he passed away. And I shit you not, the pictures she took, there was this, like, I don't want to use the word smoky, but there was this odd, like, discoloration in the photograph, which I couldn't really explain because I couldn't really explain it.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was interesting because she took a series of photos and it was like this, and she didn't move, like same, the same spot, and just took a few photos, which is a little odd that the person took photos right when the person died. But anyways, I've seen stranger.
Yeah, it happens.
It was very odd because there was this like misty looking something kind of above the body, and I don't have an explanation for it.
Smokers or anything like that?
Nope, no candles, no smokers, no. I mean, it was very, very odd. And then to prove the point, she stood in the same place today, took the same picture from the same angle, and the thing wasn't there, hovering above the body. It was pretty interesting, actually. Like I said, I don't know how many people take pictures of the dead one, right when it happens, but I don't think I probably would, but that's besides the point. It was just interesting that, I don't know what was hovering above the body other than, I don't know. I don't know. It was very bizarre. It was very bizarre.
That's weird.
Yeah. And it was like, it wasn't, because like I said, she standing in the same spot, same distance from the person, whatever. She showed me and the other person that was there. She's like, look, and she took another picture and it was not there. Same phone, same angle, same everything, same lighting, and it wasn't there. And so I find it very interesting because I couldn't explain it.
Right.
I couldn't explain it. You know, I'm looking at it trying to, well, maybe it was the lighting, maybe it was the phone, maybe it was, no, it was very weird because if it would have been the lighting or the phone, I don't know, I feel like the weird off color thing, it would have looked differently. Or it would have been more spread out or
Right,
something.
right.
It just, I don't know, man. It was pretty wild. I didn't tell you about that, did I? Yeah, it was pretty fascinating because I don't have an explanation for it other than, you know, I've heard of other people that see something leave the body.
Right.
Have you ever seen anything like that?
Picture-wise?
No, in person. Or both actually.
I mean, you know, okay, so it's really weird, you know, because I work in hospice too, and there have been many instances when I've been in the room with someone when they passed away, and you know, it's I've never like seen anything, but then again, a lot of times I don't see stuff.
True.
You know, but there is definitely when a person passes away, there's definitely a change in the energy in a room that I can feel as an empath.
Oh yeah.
You know, there's a definite, that's something I've you know experienced many times.
Have you ever gotten like a terrible gut-wrenching feeling
No.
when that in that moment?
No.
Like, oh god.
No.
Well, that's good.
No.
That's good.
Hey, Lena.
Hi, Lena.
So, but no, I never have experienced anything like that. You know, not a dreadful or a bad feeling or anything like that from, you know, that kind of an experience. But it's...
But yeah, that photograph today, I couldn't wrap my mind around what I was looking at.
Yeah. That's interesting. That's
It was
really weird.
It was interesting because the weird thing was it's like the series of photos and it was like it was there and then it was gone. Like it was briefly there and then it was gone.
Mm-hmm.
But the weird part was it didn't overlap the body. Like it was above the body, but it wasn't. I don't know. I just feel like if it would have been the phone or the lighting or something, it wouldn't have been like it was. I wish I had the.
Right.
I can't obviously show the picture, but I
Right.
wish I could because it was very. Yeah, I don't know, man. It was something else.
Huh. I don't know. I mean, I couldn't really...
Hey, Linda.
I mean, I couldn't really comment on it without seeing the photo firsthand, and that probably can't happen. So, you know, that's.
Oh, Carl. Oh, that's. Carl said, "Yeah, when it's a violent passing."
Yes, okay, okay. Let me backtrack and call myself a liar because yes, I have experienced that on when I was on the local rescue team in my hometown. There was a time or two that I experienced it under circumstances like that. And yes, I you know, I'm in a hospice mindset now, so that's what I was thinking about. But yeah, no, thinking back to that, it was, yeah, there was a time or two. But I think that was more because of the physical pain and anguish and fear that the person was experiencing at the time. You know? So, ugh.
Damn.
I don't want to talk about that anymore.
Yeah, let's not talk about that anymore.
Let's
I'm gonna
move on.
I think I'm gonna take my coat off.
So I don't know how many of you guys saw the post earlier. That's a cool shirt.
It's Hecate.
Mm-hmm.
It's my Hecate shirt.
Yes. I don't know how many of you guys saw the post a little bit earlier, but we are flying by the seat of our pants tonight. We don't have a game plan. We don't have a guest. We're just kind of winging it. Shooting from the hip.
Lena said, "New subject. This is sad."
Yep.
We're already on. We're on top of it,
What was that
Lena.
noise?
That was my phone dinging.
No. I had
I don't
a
know.
weird beep on the computer.
Oh my
I don't know
goodness.
what it was. Anyway, yes. So I don't know. We're flying by the seat of our pants. So you guys want to talk about something, or you want us to talk about something, or you want to ask a question? Jump in on the chat. I might even post a call-in number here in a little while. But for now, we're just going to stick to the chat and kind of fly by the seat of our pants. But one thing I do want to talk about is things that we are looking at for the upcoming year, since New Year's is so close.
It is. I hope everybody has a safe New Year's. Remember, don't drink and drive. Just saying. If we live closer, you could totally call me as a DD.
Yeah, yeah.
Or one of us. Or find
Yeah.
a DD. People find a...
Well, not me. I'm not. Unless I am somehow or another tied to work, I don't plan on being sober. So.
You don't plan on it?
Just, yeah, it probably was, Carl. Probably was Big Brother logging in. So, we have...
I'm just excited that from now on, everything work-related or official document-related, I'm not going to actually have to write 2020. I can just write 21. I'm excited about that. You know what I mean? Like when you write the date, instead of writing, 12/28/2020, we can write
it
12/28.
doesn't matter. I still have to...
Oh, well, anyways.
I still have to I still have to do the full 4-digit year.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I'm so sorry. I don't.
So,
Or I won't.
well, I mean, it's entirely possible that some of the people we take care of might have been born in 1921. So,
Oh, man. I didn't think about that.
there's potential confusion there.
That's true. That's true. So, yeah. Okay.
Anyway,
Hey, Linda asked a question.
do we have any
Yes,
runes?
Linda, it is the little things.
Do we have any runes or oracles? I do. I will have to. We might pull those out a little bit later on, Linda. I do have my. I think have my runes right here in my bag, but I don't have a good camera set up for it at all.
Well,
Right now.
poo.
So, but that's something I can fix, given a little time and a little bit, maybe.
Okay.
So,
Sounds like a plan to me.
What about? We've got some cool things planned out for 2021. Once we get past the dark year and I'm
dark year?
I'm not. No, I'm
The
not.
dark year?
I'm not calling 2020 the dark year. That's an actual thing. The dark year.
Oh,
The,
man.
the,
That just caught me funny. The way
it's
you
the
said,
dark time of the year.
the way you said it, the dark year. That cracked me up. You're making me laugh.
So we're
Kenna.
technically already past the dark year, but
That was great.
or is it going to be a shits because it is 21 and old
Deborah.
enough to legally?
Oh, Carl. You keep us laughing. I love it.
That is awesome. That is.
She
awesome.
was wondering if we have any Oracle decks based on runes.
Yes,
we do.
Oh,
Max gave us a deck.
I don't know where it is right offhand.
I know where it's at, but it would take me a little bit to get to it.
But
It's in-
yes, the quick answer to that question is yes, we do have a deck like that, but
Thank you, Kenna.
the
It's Hecate.
we do not have access to it right away. So, but what kind of things, Steph, do you have that you want to accomplish with Darkness Live this year?
Well, my forever goal, which I'm still in hopes for, is you getting in contact with a certain individual that I would love to talk to and probably be speechless, actually.
Well, we've had his 2 teammates on already,
Yeah.
so
So that's one of my goals.
Chad
and
Lindbergh. She's talking about Chad Lindbergh.
Yeah, but you know, like the minute that like you got him on here, I would be like quiet, like I wouldn't be able to talk. I would
I
be
don't
too.
know. You seem
I
to
would
talk
be,
to him just fine at the Casey Paracon.
Well, yeah, I guess you're right, but not initially. Not initially. I was pretty. Yeah, and that's so silly because I don't know. That's just So who he's talking about, people, is an individual that we met last year? No, the year before. Last year. God, it's still 2020. Yes. Is this year over yet? Anyways, so he was on an X-Files episode, and it was amazing to meet him. And all I wanted to know was what David Duchovny was like. And so I just think it'd be really cool to have him on our podcast to talk aliens and X-Files.
He does
aliens.
He
and
does
stuff.
he does a podcast with 2 of our previous guests. And now I'm drawing a complete blank on names.
Josh,
Yes, Josh Hurd and
not Randy.
bearded guy.
Remember, I kept wanting
Johnny
to call
Hauser.
I kept wanting to call him
Yes,
Randy. I don't
yes.
know why I wanted to call him Randy, but every time Jeremiah, when we had him as an upcoming guest, I would always say, "Oh yeah, Randy's," and he's like, "Who?" And I'm like, Randy. I don't know why, but every time I get a name stuck in my head that I associate with somebody, it's like stuck there forever. It's hard for me to change it. But yeah, anyways. Chatty Cathy.
Oh man, but
I feel like this mic is really high up. There, that's better.
so we do have we have several guests that we're looking at trying to get on. Some that we have had scheduled, and then one really cool guest that I'm looking forward to a lot that we had to.
When the Rona hit, man.
Yeah, we had to
When the COVID
put her
hit,
off.
I felt bad about that.
when the Rona hit, but I mean it was what it was, and she was totally cool. But Marie D. Jones, she'll be coming on. We'll have of course he's not really a guest. He's like part of the crew. With
Max is gonna be on.
Darkness Tavern, but Max will be coming on. We've got some other stuff. That's really cool in the works. I'm also working little by little, getting the website going. And
how are the shirts coming?
Well, the shirts are all designed. I just have to get an avenue to sell them, and we have to get some ordered in and stuff like that.
Okay. Because I know that there's probably some people that would love to have a shirt.
Oh yeah.
I have a shirt and I just don't wear it. I don't want. I'm
know, right?
I'm preserving it.
You're preserving it for all
Yes.
posterity.
Yes, I am preserving it. I need to get a new one, a smaller one.
Message from the dark side there is.
Yoda spoke to you.
Message from the dark side.
Oh my. Hey,
What
so I
was
had
that?
hey, let's talk about something for a second. So I had an interesting conversation with somebody today, and they were talking about how certain individuals that don't just believe in all love and light and stuff that don't want to, I don't know, admit or talk about negative or dark side of things. But I personally feel like if there is light, there has to be dark. Like I don't think that it can be all one way.
So, it's.
Is that too vague?
No, I get what you're saying. I think that was clear enough. If any of you guys don't understand what she's saying or asking about, what are you asking about specifically?
I'm just curious your opinion about it.
Okay, so yeah, if any of you guys need more
Dana?
explanation on what she's talking about, chime in on the chat. But really and truly, I feel like it is. It's it's primally important for everyone's goodwill, for your own personal well-being to keep a balance of all things.
There you go, Ben. Yes.
Yeah, exactly, Ben. The Sith balance out the Jedi. You have to have a yin for every yang. You have to have everything in balance and moderation. Anger is not an unhealthy emotion. It can have unhealthy consequences if you don't manage it. Anger
Well, can't every
is a
emotion?
major source of motivation. It's a huge source of energy. Rage is just, anger becomes dangerous when it comes
Chloe.
gets to the point of rage in some way, form, or fashion. The other the other things that people generally consider unhealthy, like jealousy. Jealousy is an emotion that gets
There's a fine line.
gets a really bad rap because
Yep.
yes, if you let it run unmanaged, it'll burn your house down.
Literally.
But if you don't, if you treat it for what it is, and oftentimes it's like just a red flag, or something, and it may not even be necessarily a red flag of the other person doing something wrong. It may be a red flag of communication that you need to initiate. There's any number of things that it could be, but the simple fact of the matter is, if you don't manage it, it will absolutely burn your house down. In the same way, if you just shut it away in a corner and don't pay any attention to it, it'll do the same thing.
Yeah.
It all has to be managed in a balance.
So, do you think that when, let's say somebody dies in a violent death or whatever, and do you think that their spirit takes that emotion with it to the next whatever?
Are we talking about in relation to the previous question, or is this a new question?
Take your pick. I don't know. Either one.
I'm gonna drink just in case.
Yeah, just whatever. Whatever suits you.
Well, this is my thoughts on it. We all have traumatic things happen in life, and they tend to affect us for a long time. Mm-hmm. And I don't see why that kind of a traumatic event would be any different in that transition. If it's an emotional, spiritual, psychological trauma, I don't see why that energy wouldn't carry over and possibly be some baggage that you might have to work through. We all hear stories of angry ghosts. We hear stories and in some cases, have experiences with angry ghosts and, jealous spirits and, shit like that we just, it may be a person that died under terrible circumstances or traumatic circumstances that is still working through those issues, just like we have to do in life. And they may not have, just like sometimes in life, they may not have even realized that they need to work through something.
You think it's possible for a human being to connect with a spirit and actually help a spirit work through stuff?
Yeah, I do.
How can you say that? Like, what makes you say that?
Because
they're on a totally different playing field than we are.
Because I've seen it happen.
Elaborate.
Actually, one fairly recently. With just in within just the last few years.
You should elaborate.
So there was a client that the team I work with had, who was experiencing a lot of frightening things in their home. And this client, she was at the point she just wanted it gone. She wanted it gone. She was done. She was tired of being pushed and having her hair pulled and being scratched and, you know, having her kids scared and all of this stuff. And she was just done. I mean, like, stick a fork in her, she was done. And so we went there, and, you know, I went on the consultation, you know, on the basis of a consultation, you know, to try to help with, you know, protection and blessings and stuff like that. And while we were there, we all kind of agreed, and you were there that night. You know, we all kind of agreed, you know, okay, maybe we should bring in some other consultation. And we got our good friend, the amazing Lena, on the phone.
Oh.
And she did her medium thing, and it was amazing.
I forgot about that.
The guy, the spirit that we were dealing with,
Oh.
he turned out to be
I know what you're talking about
once there was a line of communication opened up, it turned into a completely different scenario. And the lady, the client, she had some adjustments to make and some getting used to do, but it was a totally different life, was a completely different experience for her after that. She was no longer getting, you know, pushed or scratched or getting her hair pulled, and her kids weren't getting scared anymore. And you know, it was just a matter of opening that line of communication, helping the spirit work through some baggage. And, you know, this lady being willing to present herself as an avenue for that, you know?
Yeah.
So, yes, I absolutely believe that a person, you know, a lot of times you hear about, like, you know, people with kind of specialized gifts doing that, you know, mediums and such. But I don't think that is a requirement. I think that, you know, can help and make things easier, but it's not a requirement.
Okay.
You know, that's just my thoughts. Just like one of the spirits at the depot, depressed in life, now just wants to be left alone. Yes. Yep.
I had forgotten all about that.
Yeah.
You're right. I say that a lot. You're right, Jeremiah. I mean,
So-
I'll admit when I'm wrong.
Yes.
I'm pretty good about that.
Yes. Yes.
I think.
And I'm just an asshole, so.
No, you're just a Taurus. Gemini cusp.
Whatever.
No, you have admitted when you're wrong about stuff, though.
Yeah, begrudgingly.
Reluctantly, but he can do it. I've seen it with my own eyeballs. So what else do you want to talk about? Sorry, guys. Today was like a whirlwind of crazy, awful, I'm glad that today's over and on to tomorrow. It was just a lot of shit
stuff.
happened
Yep.
before 11 o'clock this morning. So, yeah, it kind of wiped me out mentally for the day.
So, well, I was gonna beyond the goal, the everlasting goal of getting Chad Lindbergh on the show. What other kind of things that you are you excited about or wanting to try to accomplish with the show next year?
I just kind of want to explore and further reach the types of guests we have on.
Okay.
Kind of branch out from I don't know if branch out is the right word. Like, not elaborate. What word am I trying to think of? Add on to, or like, I don't know. In my mind, I have a bunch of different categories that I'd like to find people who are, you know, specialists or, you know, have a lot of knowledge or experience or whatever you want to call it, in a lot of other categories, you know, just branch out basically from, you know, what we have done so far.
Okay.
I like what we've done so far.
I do too.
I think that, Yeah, I think this has been like a
I've
blast.
had a
and-
blast with this,
Yeah.
and really look forward to continuing to have a blast. One thing I would like to
Explore.
one,
Yes, Carl. Thank you.
One thing I would like to look at doing is some.
I want to do a live investigation. Sorry to interrupt you.
You're fine. Go ahead.
A live investigation.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Sorry. Go for it.
No, you're fine.
That I just had to add that in.
Yes, we will do live investigations. We will get those. We will get the technology end of that worked out, and get that going as soon as we possibly can. One thing that I want to explore is some short, like pre-recorded shows, like 5, 10, 15-minute shows, just talking to, I don't know, like ghost stories or, different, even whether it's like a ghost story or, talking about a serial killer or, some of the darker side of things,
We're a little drawn to that. I know. I know.
And stuff like that. Some pre-record, maybe, and even some stuff delving into the craft, maybe,
Oh, yeah.
but just short, like 5, 10, 15-minute pre-recorded shows.
Okay.
So that would primarily be YouTube material, but
But hey, it'd be fun.
so if you're not a YouTube subscriber, you better get that way. So there's not a whole lot of motivation for the YouTube thing right now because our YouTube link is broken for some reason. I can't get
Is it really?
I can't get the live feed to hook up to YouTube for some reason.
Bummer, man.
See, like right there, it's not
I don't get it.
it's not connecting.
Holy shit, this is our last episode in 2020.
It is.
Man, it's been a wild ride.
It has.
I gotta say though, yeah, there was some negative and some awful and tragic things that went on, but man, there was a lot of positive about this year. A lot of positive things.
I agree, and some of it is, oddly enough, a lot of it has been positive in disguise, but.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh goodness.
Uh-oh, I didn't mean to do that.
What'd you do?
There.
Oh, I don't have my earbuds in.
Yeah.
I can't hear it.
See, we're not live on YouTube. I don't know why.
Bummer, man. Ooh, Lena has some ideas. Tell us your goals for 2021. Lena, are you talking about personal goals or are you talking about Darkness Live goals? Whoop. Aw, thank you, Lena.
But yes, while she's getting that and typing, stuff
Both.
like. Okay.
So
Cool.
yeah, so Darkness Live goals for me would be, just kind of like Carl nailed the word explore more options for guests and kind of branch out as far as the types of guests and avenues that we can explore in relation to the paranormal and metaphysical realm of things and witchy things. And would you consider witchy paranormal? I mean, metaphysical?
The paranormal is such a broad topic. It's paranormal includes.
Christy is watching.
Awesome.
Hi, Christy.
Hey, Christy.
We love you
The
so much.
paranormal is such a broad, wide topic. It's everything all over the place. Ghosts, UFOs, USOs, aliens, conspiracy theory, cryptozoology, metaphysical, psychic phenomena. It's everything.
Okay. So
Yes, the witchy stuff would fall into, although most of the witches I know and most of our ancestors who walked the path probably would not enjoy being called paranormal, but it is what it is. So
I think they'll forgive you.
yeah.
I think they'll forgive you. But yeah, Okay, so yeah, sum up your because Christy just chimed in, so say it again. Sum up your goals for Darkness Live for the next year.
So well, you mentioned live investigations, and that's something I definitely want to get. I don't know how often we'll be able to do them. I'd like to shoot for maybe one every other month or one every 3 months or something like that, just to start. But yes, definitely live investigations at different locations. I also I would like to do some on-scene stuff, some live shows on scene.
On scenes of what?
Like, I don't know if we could ever work it out, maybe some of the, what's it called? Maybe some of the fairs that
that
we
would
go
be
to
cool.
would let us set up and do a short live show or something,
That would be cool.
working with other podcasts and go on scene with them or on location with them, that type of thing, and do that kind of stuff on the live end of the spectrum. But then,
And I got another resolution for 2021 for this podcast.
Also like I said, the pre-recorded, just little pre-recorded shorts, 5, 10, 15-minute stories, with some sort of animation or, creative filming or something involved,
Oh, that
just
sounds like fun.
to tell a story of,
That sounds like fun.
yeah, a ghost story or some sort of spooky story or scary story or creepy shit, serial killer, conspiracy theory, anything. So
I'm good with that. Hey, John.
I think my first paranormal experience would be a good one for that.
Reenactment?
I don't
Like
know
a
about
reenactment?
I don't know about a reenactment, but
I don't know that you could reenact
just
that.
yeah.
Man. Yeah, that would be awesome. Yeah.
So, Lena has lots of stories, and
Oh,
yes, we would. That
yeah,
would
she
be
does.
awesome. We could take, submissions, fan submissions, and stuff
Like we have
that.
fans? You think people like us?
I think we got over 900 people following us on Facebook. I mean, I think there's a few people that kind of like us a little bit anyway.
Maybe on
So-
on a good day, right? So my add-in bonus here for one of my goals for 2021 is to get a way more comfortable chair for the podcast. Guys, that's partly why I don't sit
So
still very
that-
often, because these chairs are really not comfortable.
That's a. You're not in a cushioned chair. Why
Nope.
are you not in a cushioned chair?
I'm never.
You should be in a cushioned chair.
I'm never in a cushioned chair.
But that's actually built into my new studio design. That's something else that we have planned for 2021 is a new studio design, which is
I'm pretty excited about
gonna
it.
be really cool.
Do you have a
Really cool.
goal to start it?
Well, my goal to start it, I will be starting that project in January. It's going to take a while. I may not finish it until June or July, but
By God, we've got 12 months.
I'm going to start the project in January.
Okay,
So,
cool.
yeah, that'll be fun.
That'll be exciting.
Like
What about
an-
your personal goals for 2021?
Oh,
Lena
I
asked for
haven't-
both. Come on.
I haven't thought that far ahead yet.
Really? You haven't? Not at all?
No, I have. I'm just not ready to share it publicly.
Oh. Okay. Well, I'll share one of mine publicly. So, the class coming up with Lena.
Oh yeah.
Yes, for those of you watching that don't know what I'm talking about, Lena does all kinds of, hey, Tiffany. Lena does, our good friend Lena does all kinds of classes and things, and Jeremiah and myself and one other person are taking her psychic development class, which I am very excited about. And I'm really hoping this is kind of going to be another piece of the puzzle to kind of complete the puzzle for, well, not complete totally, but more honing in on things for me when it comes to, gifts and things like that. Yeah, so I'm pretty stoked about that.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to see where it'll take me.
Yeah.
I totally am just like hitting this thing here. I better stop making that motion on camera. Moving on. Yes, I really did just say that. So
You said it, not me.
yeah. Anyways. Yes, Christy has done
I'm gonna
it.
need more to drink.
Oh my God. So, but yes, that's one of my huge, well, like soon, because we'll start the class in January. So, one of my goals, short-term goals here. And, the long-term side of that class will be, what I gain from it, what I learn about myself, what I learn about my gifts, things like that, how to
Right.
utilize them, how to incorporate them,
Yeah,
all of the above.
absolutely.
And I'm very curious to see where it'll take me because I'm just, you always think something's going to happen one way, and in reality, it happens a totally different way. And so I'm very excited to see what Lena has in store for us. For us to discover about ourselves, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That is something that I am very much looking forward to. I've got a lot of other things on my list spiritually for 2021. I'm actually happy to say I actually accomplished almost all of my spiritual goals, if not all of my spiritual goals for 2020.
Yay.
So that was really cool. So yeah,
I still have one I have not figured out.
I'm really excited about the
Hey, Dave. Dave's watching.
the class and everything. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. Among other things that I have planned for 2021, I am kind of starting to get planned for 2021 spiritually. But as far as you, I will say you have not even. I'm looking for big things for you out of this class because you haven't even scratched the surface of your spiritual capability yet. Not even close. I mean, I'm being serious.
I feel that way. I feel like I'm kind of like if the gifts were a house, I feel like I'm like pacing at the front door. Does that make sense? Like, I did something last night. I didn't even tell you about it, and it didn't work, and I'm really bummed about it. So, I know I have figured out. I do have a guide. It's a female. I won't go into a lot of detail about her right now, but I still don't know her name. And so like last night before I went to bed, I set my intention. I'm like, please, come to me in my dream. Please tell me your name. Cause I figure if I have a name, I can, call on her. You know what I'm saying? And it didn't happen. And so I don't know what I did wrong or if she just, because I, outright
you need to
asked
give
or whatever, but
you need to give that one time.
But I'm just like,
you have to understand on a spiritual level, there's power and authority in a name.
I know. Yeah.
And and beyond that, there's a level of communication there that you may just not be ready for yet.
It could be.
I'll be honest. That's probably the one thing I can think of right offhand that I wanted for 2020, but I didn't get. But I'm not heartbroken over it. I wanted to know my guide's name, but there's my primary guide is he's a little bit different rascal, and I don't know if I'll ever get his name.
Maybe not.
Because of the situation there. I'm not gonna push that one too much. He works with me and does everything he needs to for me. Your eyes just got big like saucers. What'd you come up with?
I just read Lena's. It said, ask right now and trust the first name that comes to you. That's interesting. The name did come to me, actually. So, I'm not going to say it live.
No, you shouldn't. You shouldn't.
Lena, I'll message you when we're done. Wow, that's really odd. Like, I wonder. Huh. Okay. Anyways.
I've done that with mine, and nothing comes to me.
See, and like when you're like saying that or whatever, in my mind or whatever, I'm hearing some kind of an H, a name with an H, but the letter H, like, but it's not like an English word, so I don't know.
It wouldn't be.
I don't know. It's yeah. It's I
Yeah.
blah 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 blah.
You
blah.
know, and I'm not going to get into a lot of grave detail. Lena kind of knows what I'm talking about, but I'm not going to get into a lot of grave detail about my. Still nothing, Lena. Still nothing. So, but yeah, I'm not going to get into a lot of great detail about, my guide, but it's a different sort of relationship there.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Well, my guide, man, I gotta say, like, she's beautiful. Like, she's absolutely beautiful. And, yeah.
I don't know that we're thinking about the same one, Lena, because I know I have multiple guides, but there's one that has been with me longer than the others.
Are you talking about the one from when you were like 4?
No.
Is it an animal?
Yes, but that's all I want to say.
Oh, no, I know what you're talking about. Okay. So, purple.
No.
Purple? What? I don't know. But, that's weird because, yeah, I literally read that and then, like, heard a name. So maybe that'd be really freaking cool if that was the case.
So, but yeah. So that guy's been with me for a long time, a lot longer than any of the others, and he just kind of has my curiosity piqued. Again, because of my tendency to lean towards the darker side of things.
Yeah, I do
too.
I do too. People.
But
I do too.
It is. Yeah, I don't know. I had a thought in my head, and then it just kind of went poof, bye. So
Carl said, "Prince." Prince is a mystical.
We're not going to talk
creature.
about when doves cry.
Prince is a mystical creature in of itself. Yes. Sorry, that's
the only song from Prince that I actually like.
See, and mine was Raspberry Beret. I think that's what it was called.
Yeah,
I think
like
that was like, I think that's what it was called. Something like that. Anyways. Okay, so we should talk about. I don't know what to talk about. What do you want to talk about? Sorry, guys. I didn't. I said, man.
You guys in the chat, give us some ideas. And not
spent.
Prince. I don't want to talk about Prince.
Mentally,
but we can talk about anything else.
Yeah, like spent by like 11 o'clock.
Give us some ideas.
Morning. 11 o'clock this morning, I was mentally spent. So the rest of the day, I've just been coasting through. You know what I mean?
There's nothing wrong with that on occasion.
I wish you had a girly drink because I'd have one if you had something that wasn't like beer. I don't like beer, people. Never have.
We got a
probably not.
Rosé red cider.
I don't want a chance wasting it.
Well, if you don't like it, I'll finish it. I like those. Okay,
Corvette.
that's a good one too. Okay, I can't complain about that song, Little Red Corvette.
And then November Rain. Is that what it was called? Didn't he have a song called?
That was Guns N' Roses, wasn't it?
Purple Rain? Was it Purple Rain?
Purple Rain.
There we
yes.
go. Not November. Sorry.
November Rain was Guns N' Roses.
Sorry, people.
That's a sin. Mixing Prince up with Guns N' Roses. I mean, come on.
Okay, so in my defense, the kind of music I listen to, does it really surprise you? No. 1999. Party like it's 1999. No, we're gonna party like it's the end of 2020. That's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do.
So, well, what about poltergeist, Lena? What do you want to talk about with poltergeists?
Don't go into the light. Don't go into the light.
They're here. They're back.
You know, I gotta say, I really liked on talking about movies. I know that's not what Lena's talking about, but talking about movies, I really liked the original Poltergeist movie.
Yeah.
I didn't care for the remake.
I haven't seen the remake.
Well, just don't worry about it, because, well, I don't know. I can't say that because you might, but I highly doubt you will.
So, oh, yes. Okay, so there are a lot of different theories about poltergeists.
Explain what poltergeist is.
So a poltergeist is literally, it's a German word. The word poltergeist is the German word for noisy ghost.
Oh. Okay.
Okay. It literally comes from the idea that poltergeists, almost all the time when you go do a paranormal investigation and you have activity where there's a lot of noises and your yeah, there's a lot of noises, a lot of stuff being moved around, maybe stuff being visually moved around, or stuff being apportated. Not apportated. That's not even a word. Apported, which is like where it disappears from one place and then reappears in another place, or sometimes stuff just appears out of thin air that doesn't really have any business being there. You know, this stuff is traditionally associated with a poltergeist-style haunting. Now, there's a lot of different theories that go along with the idea of a poltergeist. Thank you, Dave. You see any family resemblance? Sorry, I couldn't resist that. There's okay, so the primary the primary not okay. So I don't think this is the prevailing theory anymore, but used to the prevailing theory on poltergeist was that it was not actually an actual ghost, but it was actually a almost an energy that was created out of excess emotional energy. You know, so like I can't remember his name. There was what the heck was his name? There was a researcher, a parapsychologist, who noticed that poltergeists often happened when there was a young child, not a young child, an adolescent or prepubescent child in the home, and oftentimes a female, prepubescent or adolescent female in the home, and just that emotional turmoil that people in those situations tend to go through. Especially if there was any previous emotional trauma involved, it was a lot of times thought that would manifest, that emotional energy would almost like become its own creature and start acting out. Does that make sense? Am I explaining that?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, some of the other theories are that it's just a pissed off ghost that will, you know, feed off of that kind of emotional energy, emotional trauma, unspent emotional energy, you know, emotions that have been blocked off and aren't being worked through. Or don't do that. I always have paper in front of me. I have to look studious, even though, yeah.
I'll be damned. That name came to me. Holy shit.
So they found that oftentimes that kind of emotional energy would be present when there is a poltergeist, or poltergeist type activity.
Oh shit.
And
See
they-
what Carl said?
The spirit in the daughter's first apartment would turn on the stove, but not enough to. Oh shit!
That could have been a bad kaboom.
Yeah, that would have been bad. Not only a bad kaboom, but I mean that could poison someone.
Jeez.
But then they also found that if they involved a therapist, involved measures to help these people work through their emotional issues, that the activity would oftentimes subside. Okay?
Oh, wow.
Demonologists often think that poltergeist activity is generally related to a demonic entity in some way, form, or fashion. I'm not going to get into the whole big spiel that I have on of issues I have with demonologists, but the thing about it is, when you're talking to a deer hunter, everything looks like a deer.
Yeah.
So I have a hard time believing, in my experience, true demonic activity is fairly rare. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but it's fairly rare. So going back to the idea of it either being that type of an almost a, I'm not even going to use that word. Being linked to a person that is go back to the poltergeist activity, being linked to a person that's going through pubescent or other types of emotional turmoil and trauma.
Does that include pregnant women?
It could, yeah. But either just that type of energy manifesting on its own, or being from a spirit that's actually feeding off of that energy and using that energy to manifest in those ways. Then I think that's kind of what we're left with right now. And honestly, I've seen cases that I think could have gone either way.
Oh wow.
I have seen a case, worked a case where there was a young girl, and I am 99.999% sure that she did not have an actual spirit attached to her, but this young girl, all of the activity focused her when she went to school. The activity in the house stopped, and it didn't start until she walked back in the door.
Man.
And there wasn't any activity, any weird things reported around her at the school that we could find out. So it just, now bear in mind, this isn't, this is a 30-second synopsis on a 5-month investigation, but we basically concluded that she needed therapy, and we got her therapy, and over the course of about 3 months, the activity resolved.
Oh wow.
And I truly think that was emotional energy manifesting the noises, the objects moving, even the shadows that were scaring her little sister. I believe that with all my heart. While at the same time, there have been other cases. A case.
Bye, Lena.
there was a case in a tiny little.
Sorry.
It's fine.
Did I blow out your eardrum?
No. There's a case at a tiny little town down in southeast Kansas that I was involved in. That one I think was a pissed off, angry ghost that was feeding off the emotional turmoil in the home. And there was a lot of emotional turmoil in that home.
Do you think that kind of goes back to this? May be far-fetched, but Misery Loves Company.
It could, yeah. In that case, yeah, I think that's exactly what it was.
God, that's so true, isn't it?
Yeah. But yeah, the poltergeist aspect, they always make for really, really, really interesting cases. Really interesting. And it's like every other case I've ever worked, the solution for it always ends up being psychological and emotional first, followed by spiritual, and then there's usually no need left for any kind of a magical intervention.
Why do you think people will because I don't know if you've experienced this or not or whatever, but I've known quite a few people who, they're in a personal situation and they've tried all kinds of things. And then as a last resort, they will come to me and be like, hey, can I talk to you for a minute? Hey, I know you're into these odd things or whatever, but can you help me? And I find it so interesting that people, when push comes to shove, a lot of times they will reach out to the, what word am I trying to say? The unknown for answers and things like that. Yeah. Does that happen to you?
Yeah, there's a lot of ways to answer that. I mean, a lot of different rabbit holes we could go down with that, but I think
that's my favorite, that when somebody that that nobody else around them would even consider them to be curious about the metaphysical, and then they're coming to you being like, hey, I feel like the village witch, outside the village that they come to secretly for help or whatever.
Right.
And it doesn't it flatters me, to be honest, because I think that's really cool, because it tells me that they know what I do, they hear what I talk about, and as much as they don't want to say oh, that sounds fascinating, deep down they're like, man, I'm kind of intrigued by this.
Right.
And 90% of the time when you actually sit down and break it down for somebody what we practice and what we believe and stuff like that, they're usually pretty full of questions.
Yeah.
And then I think they have that moment where they're like, oh, they don't worship the devil.
Right. Yeah.
That, never fails, man. Never fails.
Yeah.
But,
I think, it's, as far as strictly getting in your, into your question, digging into your question that you first asked, I think, people often...
I feel like I'm so short, this microphone is just too tall.
People will often reach out to the unknown for solutions when they have exhausted all other options, at least that they're... Not necessarily all other options, but all other options that they're willing to face,
So, big picture, what do you think that says about what we believe or what we practice or?
I'm not gonna sit here and say that I think it has all the answers. I personally do think it has all the answers.
Most. And if it doesn't, Lena does.
But right.
If our practices don't have answers, Lena does.
But the thing about it is, it doesn't have all the answers for everyone.
Well, yeah.
it's
not gonna be.
not
for
everyone
everyone.
had the personality to believe what we believe and God, Carl. Too many blue pills.
For my microphone. Oh my god.
We use there's a joke behind that. We used to have, for those of you that don't know, we used to have a microphone stand that would not hold the microphone up, and we kept joking. And for the
Yeah.
longest time I held it up with blue tape, and Carl kept joking about the blue pills.
My microphone just needed a little blue
And-
pill.
Yeah, and now her microphone stand has evidently had too many blue pills.
my
Yeah,
God.
so I think the biggest takeaway that I get from that is that
I have a
people
question
are.
for you.
Hang on a second. That people are. Once people let their guards down and bring the walls down a little bit and just listen a little, it's they find out we're not the sinister, evil, bad guys. We
No,
we
heavens no.
don't. We're not.
I mean, I've done a few things that probably were not. What word am I trying to say? Probably bit off more than I could chew a few times. But
Yeah, but that's part of learning.
That's true.
That's something that can happen in any path.
Oh, so my question.
Yes.
Okay, so my question. So just PG-13 warning, or maybe PG-17 warning at this very moment. I'm putting it out there. If you are under the age of 17, 18, whatever, turn off the show. So
Oh, shit.
what about, is there like any talk or theory about anything like that, about people having sex with ghosts?
Oh, shit.
I'm serious. Like, all I'm picturing is that scene in Ghostbusters where, Dan Aykroyd, the zipper's coming down and all that, whatever. And yeah, anyways, you've all seen Ghostbusters, you know what I'm talking about. But I mean, seriously, like, are there people out there that claim that they
There are.
have sex with ghosts?
There are people
For
that.
real?
There are people that claim to have sexual intercourse with spirits. And,
How would that even work?
Okay, so I don't know, and I don't want to know. But the thing about it is, that
I mean, maybe if
it's hard to sit here and just automatically say that they're out their damn minds.
I mean, unless a spirit possessed like a blow-up doll or something.
No.
No?
Because there are spirits that do that. In every philosophy, faith, lore, mythology, across the board, there are spirits that do that. They're most commonly known by the names of incubus and succubus. I'm serious. I know it's a funny name, but yeah, I'm serious.
I've heard those names.
Incubus is the male version, a succubus is the female version
Of
of
course it is.
it. Oh, goddamn.
Sorry, guys. Okay, I just had to ask
it's,
because
the incubus and succubus are more of a Catholicized demonic version that feeds off of the emotional energy emitted by a human during the act of sex. Okay, so it's not the actual sex that does the job for them, it's the emotional energy that a human gives off when they're having sex. Okay? But there is some equivalent of that in almost every,
path.
whatever you want to call it, mythology, path, lore.
Wow.
Also, how you act. Yeah, exactly.
But I was just curious because yeah, Ghostbusters popped in my head, and then the scene with Dan Aykroyd and the spirit popped in my head, and I'm like, oh, I want to know. Is that a thing? Or was that just a Hollywood thing?
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
the
there
thing?
was even a deal floating around on Facebook. I want to say it was a couple or 3 months ago that I saw it floating around about some lady over in the UK that, claims to have sex with spirits all the time.
Well, you wouldn't have to worry about getting pregnant.
So
I don't think.
I don't know.
Okay. Anyways, folks. Well, you got anything else to add?
No, not really. We just, keep an eye out. I mean, are we getting ready to wind it down?
We are.
Okay. Yeah. It's 8:13, so we'll go ahead and start wrapping it up.
Ghost sex, also known as scalping. Oh, shit.
We're going to go ahead and wrap it up here, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the talk tonight. It's just been a little off the wall and, kooky and
Last
not
one
really
of the
tied
end
down
of this
anywhere, and
glorious 2020 year. So, whoo, buddy.
we will be back next week.
In the new year.
Yeah, first show of the new year. Excuse me. We will be starting to get our new lineup for the year set out and get some of our projects tied up and ready to go, guys. So hopefully you guys will keep an eye out and enjoy and
Come see us again.
keep an eye out for announcements. I know I haven't been doing a very good job with the announcements lately. It's just a rough time of the year for me, and I was having a hard time staying focused. So, but that should clear up. It's already started to clear up a little bit, but that should start clearing up more in the next, week to 2 weeks as we get past the dark time of the year. So that it's
I know.
a thing.
I know.
It's what
It
it's
just
called. And
struck me really funny.
Actually, and my grandma used to call it the dark year all the time from October, mid-October up to February. She always called it the dark year.
No, I get it. It just struck me really funny when you said it. It made me laugh.
It was funny.
It was funny. All right, you guys have a wonderful evening. On marching on to Tuesday, and those of you who are off New Year's Day, there's only 3 more work days this week.
Yep.
Got to cram it all in for a 4-day week. All right. Be safe out there. Have a good night.
Have
Bye.
a good night.
We love you all.
We will see you next week. In the meantime, keep shaking hands with the shadows.
Yes. Bye.
All right, where's the outro? I should have had that ready. Bye, guys.